What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Offroad Diaries Podcast Edition. If you're new to the channel, I'm Krista. This is Jonathan. Today we are going to have a special edition. We're going to do a podcast with our friends Amber and Greg and their daughters Ava and Olivia. But before we jump into that session, we just wanted to talk about UTV Takeover. It's coming up October 18th through the 22nd. We're like 16 days away. So we just wanted to chat about the schedule and everything that's involved with UTV Takeover and kind of just give you guys a prelude to what's going to happen before we jump into the podcast.
So guys, if you've never been to a takeover before, I know you guys are super excited to go there. Be patient as you're going in at first. There's going to be some traffic. I'm sure you got to think about it. There's a lot of people trying to cram into one place, and it is a big state park, but it's still, there's going to be a line. So be patient, be super nice to your volunteers. We're going to kind of go over just a few things really quick before we jump into the podcast. Like Krista said, we just wanted to give you guys a heads up of all of the activities that are going to happen here. Huck Fest, which is my favorite one, I think.
I think that's probably the highest attended.
It's definitely the highest attended. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys jump. They put their own safety at risk, and they do stay safe while they're trying to jump these jumps. But if you have one event you're going to choose to go to, it's on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
And
you know what time?
So Saturday. I think all these events are going to be basically at 3-ish, I believe. 2 or 3.
And the thing is, too, is it's not just, obviously there's UTV Takeover athletes. You've got Wyatt Hastings, you've got Colton Bybee, Clinton Bybee, Savage Sage, we've got ambassadors like Kyle Litton, people like that as well, Brandon Raddick, Greg X, all these awesome people that go out and do these jumps and compete, but it's also open to everyone, right? Anyone can jump in. So they do recommend that you are safe as well. So helmets are required. A neck brace is highly recommended. Obviously if you have a jump seat, things like that, that's definitely a benefit. So that way you don't hurt yourself.
Go to utvtakeover.com. You can get all the information on there that I'm about to share with you. In case you guys are wondering as far as days goes, really quick, we're going to kind of jog through this. Wednesday is kind of the get there day. It's when everybody's actually going to get there and kind of just get set up and get ready. You got lots of fun stuff that goes on during the daytime, basically just meeting up with your friends and saying hi and kind of getting ready. 3:00 on Wednesday's barrel races. Super fun. I always have a lot of fun doing those.
I love watching the barrel races.
And remember, you can do any of these events on your own. It's not like you have to be a professional or anything. They just want you to sign a waiver. So make sure to go to the UTV Takeover tent and sign your waiver so you guys are
get your wristband so you're good to go.
Yep, and they're going to give you a wristband. You're going to sign a waiver basically saying that it's your fault if you wreck.
Yes.
Which it is. So 3:00's there. 6:00's going to be a meet and greet on Wednesday. Super fun to go to those meet and greets. You get to kind of see everybody before takeover, and everybody's freshly shaved and clean and all that good stuff.
Before they've been dry camping for 4 days and are stinky.
Yeah, I take a shower every day, by the way. That's mandatory. I like to smell clean. So if you see me, don't be afraid. I won't stink.
I might.
9:00, rock and roll bingo, my favorite night thing to do.
Oh, so much fun.
It's so much freaking fun. Keep in mind, if you do drink there, guys, there are going to be park rangers that are going to be driving around everywhere looking for DUIs. So make sure you have a designated driver or you're walking through the stand or stumbling to the sand to get back to your campers. Just keep that in mind. But rock and roll bingo is
good to have a designated, chaperone too, to walk you back to make sure you get back to your campsite so you don't end up in the lake.
Thursday, they're going to have Race the Clock.
Oh, that one's fun too. That
one is fun. They set up a bunch of different barrels, which I'm sure Krista can throw in a little clip or whatever. Yeah. A bunch of, it's kind of barrels that have numbers on them. And
they're kind of in a circular shape, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like a clock, a clock.
Right,
but the numbers are different numbers. They're not in order. They're a ton of fun. It confused me at first, but simply put, you get to memorize a pattern that you have to go through, and it's different every time. And then you'll go run around that number of barrel to the next. You have to go around the center and then around another one. It's a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun. I think I might have broke the sway bar on Sherb at that point, or either I broke it in Coos Bay when we were ripping with Zach and them.
Oh, you mean in Winchester?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I broke it there or not, but
She broke at some point.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Keep in mind that track does get rutted out.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to be careful. Maybe try to get into the front of the line to be on that one. Again, there's a nighttime group ride. Starts at 8 o'clock.
At the tunnel, right?
Yes.
Over by the drags is where the meeting point is.
So everybody's going to meet there at the tunnel. And that's where we did it last year. And I'm sure it's going to be the same way this year.
Probably.
I think Corey Levin will be leading the night rides out here as well. He is the one that does them in Oregon. He's an awesome guy, does some really cool stuff. And he just got a really cool new Maverick R. I'm sure he's going to be excited to be leading you guys through Sand Hollow.
I'm excited to see what that thing does in the rocks.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So it looks like, yep. Doesn't say if it's Corey or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is for Thursday. Then after that, you're going to have the sand drags that start at 9 o'clock, as well as rock and roll bingo again at 9 o'clock. And you can actually kind of bounce back and forth from rock and roll bingo to the drags. They're fairly close to each other. It's not like in Oregon where it's kind of too far away to kind of go to both. So it's a lot of fun to go to rock and roll bingo for a second, jump over to the drags, and then jump back over to rock and roll bingo.
And those nighttime drags are kind of like open track
yes,
drags,
it's open
right?
to everybody. All you're going to do is you're just going to get into the line, and you're going to just line up with whoever you want to race. Pretty much, if you kind of coordinate it and stage it, you can usually race your buddies if you're trying to.
Helmets are still required.
Yes, helmets are required. We got to be safe, guys. And it's a lot of fun just to go racing down that strip, even if you got a little 800 or a crazy boosted Pro R like LaRue or, some of those guys. It's still just a lot of fun to go to those night drags and just, have fun and race. Every night, Vendor Row and everything else closes at 12 o'clock, midnight. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean your party's got to stop, but it just stops for takeover. Going next, it's going to be Friday. Friday is... looks like they're going to start the sand drags, the pro class at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not naming everything, guys. I'm just kind of going over this a little bit, just kind of inform y'all.
And we'll drop a link in the bottom that links right to the catalog. That's the online version too, so you can check it out.
Yeah, we just want to pump you guys up and get you excited.
Get you
Maybe
ready.
If we say something that you want to see, you can go take a look at it.
Make sure you get there.
Looks like 1 o'clock they're doing an RC sand drag, which that sounds kind of cool.
Fun.
Man, these things are a lot faster than when I was a little kid with my little remote control cars. So go check those guys out. It looks like that'll be fun. It's also fun watching the pro drag races as well. Some of those guys, they got some 400, 500, 600 horsepower side by sides, and they just rip.
Like the Packard cars.
Yeah, Packard cars,
and
cars.
They have a lot. They have separated out the drag classes, right? Like it's super detailed. So there's 3 different classes of drags for UTV Takeover in Utah.
Yeah, and we'll try to find that really quick and flash it up on the screen if we can for the drag races. I looked at it a little bit because it's
pretty
not
in
fair.
depth.
Yeah, I mean,
it's detailed.
If you're trying, the ones at nighttime are for fun. The ones during the morning times, those guys are looking for trophies and stuff. But it's a lot of fun to watch those guys. I personally enjoy watching fast cars. So,
who doesn't?
Yeah, 4 o'clock, my favorite thing to actually participate in, I think. I do really like Race the Clock, but I think my favorite one is going to be the short course races.
Yes.
They build a really nice short course track. It is just a blast. It's a lot of fun. They got the banks and everything else that you kind of go around. But that's also a lot of fun.
That's also one that gets rutted up, so get there early.
Yeah, it does get rutted up. So, if your car's sitting low, you're going to be riding on top of that rut. Or it's that center channel that's not rutted up. But that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch those. Usually a few people will tip over here and there, but it's usually not too bad of an accident. If you do tip over, you kind of just bloop, plop. Nighttime ride again every night. Thursday night or Friday night is where we're at now. That's going to be 8 o'clock. We are 9 o'clock again for the drags as well. Basically what happens is a group ride starts at 8 o'clock every night. And usually they'll go to the top of the world or somewhere around that area, and then they'll shoot back. And by the time you're coming back, the nighttime drags and rock and roll bingo are starting. So it's always fun to just go do that and then come in for the night and just kind of chill out and, have a little bit of fun, a couple drinks or whatever.
And if you don't do night rides, definitely get to the community tent early so you can get a good seat for the rock and roll bingos because those fill up fast. Yeah. And you want to get your card so you can have a chance to win because there's a lot of vendors that donate prizes for rock and roll bingo. So there's some really cool prizes that you can win too at rock and roll bingo.
Yeah, and they throw out a bunch of random free stuff, t-shirts, hats, all that good stuff.
And if you're wondering what rock and roll bingo is, they play music, you have a sheet, it has the song and the title, and you have to know the song.
Yep.
Can't cheat. So no cheating.
No cheating. Going on Saturday, the last day, it's usually the saddest day for everybody, but people are also kind of relieved because it's like, man, there's so much that happens, and I am literally just I am literally just breezing through right now, not telling you every single thing. That's why we're going to post a link to go straight to the event catalog, so you guys can look through everything. But the big one is going to be Huckfest 4 o'clock. That is one you don't want to miss. Our good friends Colt have won it. And then his brother Clint just won it last year. Brandon, in Oregon. Yeah, in Oregon. Brandon Raddick, who's a really, really good dude. He's awesome. He's won it a lot. And these guys, it's funny because when we jump, we're like, oh my God, you think you catch all this air. And then you look at the video that somebody recorded and you just like went 10 feet, but it feels like you went forever. These guys are jumping, 100 feet plus, and that. I
think, what was it 121 or 141 feet? What was Clinton's jump?
Clinton was 111.
Was it at 111? That's right. That's
and the
right.
Oregon jump is going to be different than the Utah jump. It's still a jump, but it's just different factors. But
yeah, so if you're driving through past vendors on Saturday at 4 o'clock and you can't go on the road, if you're wondering why, it's because they shut it down because they use that entire section for the speed to get the jumps for Huckfest.
So that's something you guys, I mean, it's always the biggest attended event, I think, out of anything. It's a blast to watch these guys. They really do put up, it takes a lot of courage to put up that kind of a show.
And J-Mom's jumping in it too.
Yeah, and J-Mom actually almost won it last year too. She is amazing. You guys keep your eyes on her.
Are you talking about last year in Oregon? That was earlier.
Sorry. Everything
this in June.
Everything is last year to me. But it did last June when we went to Oregon, and she's awesome. She's an inspiration to all the women and girls out there that just want to do something, which is also why we have Liv on this podcast coming up, because we want to inspire just all the youth as well as adults out there that are afraid to do things. We want to inspire you guys and show you that it is possible. But as far as the Huckfest goes, I will not be doing that. My back is absolutely not going to be a part of that whatsoever. And
plus, we don't want to mess up our machines because we have a big trip. We're going to Camp Razor after Takeover, and we're going to go to Glamis North North Glamis Hot Springs? Is that how you say it?
Glamis North Hot Springs RV Resort or something like that.
So we got some big trip. We got like 2 weeks of vacation, so we don't want to mess up our.
We are getting the heck out of here. By the way, Willie Fest is actually at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So Willie Fest is going to happen before Huckfest. Probably should have been a little bit more organized, but that's okay. We just kind of want to give you guys little ideas of what was going on and talk about Takeover. We hope that you guys have a blast. If you see us, come say hi to us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We only continue. We do this for ourselves, right? But you guys are super motivating and supportive, and it's really awesome. So please come say hi to us. It makes us feel good, and we want to say hi.
Yeah, awesome. We like to say hi. So without further ado, we hope that you like the podcast that you're about to watch. We just wanted to give you a little UTV Takeover updates.
Because we're excited.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Oh, and Jonathan might have something coming out soon in regards to Scarlett, right? Do we have a little update on Scarlett that we'll be pushing out? So stay tuned for that. I'll be dropping
an update on Scarlett.
Yes.
If you guys have ever had a girlfriend that was like a pain, you just wanted to leave her so bad, but you just stayed in that relationship, that's Scarlett and I.
Oh no.
Yeah. But good news is, there'll be some good news.
We'll have some good news coming out.
We'll
have
some bad news. But so we'll drop that video shortly. You may even see it before you see this podcast. But so hope you guys have an awesome day and enjoy the rest of this podcast.
Let's jump in.
We wanted to bring some of our friends in. It's Amber and Greg. Say hi.
Hello.
These guys are super awesome. They are the first people that I ever circled up in a camp group with, and I met them. We were just trying to figure out the dates. It was for March of 2020 for their daughter Liv's birthday. Yep. And it was down at Sand Hollow. I think it was
Warner Valley.
Warner Valley is one of the first few times I went to Sand Hollow. Krista did not go with me, but she did end up meeting them later on. And we become good friends. Greg's actually in one of our last videos. He's the one that was recording some of the stuff from behind the view of his car which I appreciate, by the way.
And he also got the drone footage at the pit bike party. It was awesome.
Yeah, he got some really cool drone footage for us at the pit bike party.
Speaking of, we need to give you your drone back.
Oh, yeah, I need to give you your drone back. Oh, my God.
And he was the third fire extinguisher.
He was.
Yes, he
that
sure
was him,
was.
the just in case. So these guys have become family as well. They're really good people. They've got an amazing family, 2 awesome daughters. Amber was so nice. She reached out to me when I just kind of didn't have anybody or know anybody in the side-by-side world. And she, I'd said something about I wanted to camp with somebody, I think.
You were looking for somebody to go down to Santala with.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're going.
Yeah, and we brought Jimbo with us. And
no, it was Nate and Monica.
And Jimbo.
Actually. Oh, did Jim go?
Yeah, Jimbo was riding with us.
Oh, was he? Oh. On the quad?
No, he was riding with me and my machine.
Oh.
And they were just awesome. And we wanted to talk a little bit about Takeover that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They've been to the Oregon Takeover with us.
Oklahoma. That was so much fun.
We didn't get to actually camp together because things are just all funky, and I wish we would have because I love them to death. But
I don't think we've actually gotten to camp with each other for a single takeover yet. No. Out of all the takeovers, because in Oklahoma we stayed in the house and you guys camped, and then this last in Oregon it was chaos in that little tiny bubble that we have up there.
We were just right on the other side of the fence. And
were you
on the sand?
Yeah, and it's like hopefully we can make that happen for this takeover. Yeah. So part of what we're going to talk about is we just wanted to share our friends with you. They're kind of behind the scenes. They're not always directly in our videos, but they're just amazingly awesome people. And we have the chance to share some really cool stuff about them. They have their daughter is going to be doing some really cool stuff, which you're going to meet her in a second.
But he's dead.
Dead?
Okay. We should be okay now.
We're back. Okay, sorry.
That's my favorite sound. I like hitting that button.
I don't even know what we were talking about before. Takeovers, right?
And we were talking about camping and then going down to Warner Valley. Greg was saying that every March they go down to Warner Valley for Livy's birthday. Yep. So have y'all done, how many years have y'all done that in a row?
Since she was 4.
Really?
Yeah. So we've done it every year. Yeah,
9 years?
at least.
Nice.
I think
4.
last year we had, this past March, would we have 23 cars? And then we usually do like one big ride. I'll lead everybody. And then we go all the way out through like dinosaur tracks, go out there into Arizona and go all the way around. Or
show
we've done
all the fun stuff.
Yeah, Tokerville Falls. We try and do at least 1 or 2 big rides. And
we love Tokerville.
Yeah.
Do you?
Like riding the
I
ride.
don't think we've ever,
not gone to Tokerville.
You guys, it is so much fun.
I don't know why. I get invited every
single
year
time
to go do it. And
If the next time you get an offer to go, especially if they're going to ride the river up. Like it is, it's so awesome.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I guess we
totally
need to put a cover on Sherb's clutches because
you
that
do.
thing never has a cover on it.
We haven't had a clutch cover on that car since we bought her.
Yeah.
I think the moment we bought her, we took it off.
Somebody said, you're going to ruin your clutches, and it's been 6,400 miles with no clutch cover on it.
It's fine so far.
I don't know. Who knows?
Whatever.
It's semantics, people. So basically what's happening is we're kind of talking a little bit about Takeover. We're kind of getting pumped up. We're very pumped up.
Excited.
We're so excited.
Countdown is on.
It is so much fun. If you're on the fence right now, this video will probably drop, Sunday?
So this will actually post next Wednesday.
Yeah, so there were probably, I know there's a couple camping spots left as of right now. Even if you can't get camping spots, you can camp down in Warner Valley, which is BLM land. They don't, it's free camping. It's, there's a lot of it.
Oh, yeah. Tons of BLM land down there.
And it's not a horrible ride to get there. So if you make a last minute decision to go there, you can still get there via trails all the way up to the park. You just have to buy wristbands to come through the tunnel or inside the gate. You have to have a UTV Takeover wristband. But
worth it.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Worth it.
You won't regret it.
Oh my gosh. What is it? $25 for a wristband?
I think
it's
50.
Is it 50?
Yeah. That's totally worth it. I mean, if you're looking for parts, anything like that, I think I counted the other day, vendors, I think they're close to like 100. I mean,
I think
even
Steve
with
said there's
vendors and stuff.
122, I believe.
There is so many this year. Did you see how they
On the beach.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I think
they're not on the beach. They're kind of on the road.
They're on the road, so all of them will be together.
Nice.
So it'll be a nice.
So there's no upper or lower this year, last year with.
There is that upper still.
Right.
And then there's where the road is. So there's that upper and then the road, and then along this side of the road, like the beach side. Instead of putting them clear down at the water
on the water,
they're along the road now. So you can just
So
it looks
all in
cool.
one shopping. Yeah. And I think Steve did say like this year at Sand Hollow, this is the most vendors that they've ever had.
That's what he had told us when I
crazy.
talked to him the other day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I'm excited because, like, even if you don't buy stuff from these guys, go and show them some love. Some of these vendors are first-time vendors. They're just little guys trying to start up. And I think a lot of the people in this industry 10, 15 years ago were all little guys. There was not a side-by-side world 15 years ago. It was rhinos and,
Banshees.
And they had just started with the 570s and, 800s and stuff. And I work on a lot of machines here in my shop, which is where we are, by the way. In case you are wondering, you're like, where are you at? We're inside our little shop here. But go give these guys some love because they really pay money to be there. They work really hard to pack all their stuff up and come show you their new products. So go just say hi to them, see what they have to offer. Maybe you can't afford it right now to buy it. I know I can't afford to buy all the stuff I want. Right. But at least go look and see what they have because maybe you can set a goal and throw money in your piggy bank, right, to see them.
Well,
we try to support a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
it's always the best place to find, all the new ideas that people are coming out with, all the things that you never thought of that you actually find, like door bags, for instance, right? It's one thing I could never go without ever again. And you just...
But sometimes they come up with these cool new concept of a door bag that has this cool new pocket or something. And you're like, oh,
yeah. That's like that, like bombshell gear.
Yeah.
Is it bombshell gear? And they have like the first aid kits, and you can customize all these little. It's creativity, so cool. And it's very vast of what you can get, and you have such a variety of different shops.
Am I allowed to name drop?
Oh yeah, okay. Definitely.
Clean Freak, the wipes. Have you went to them?
No.
They're locally, they're here in Utah.
Really?
They came from, and they're the best. And last year I was like, do I want to go over there? And then I did, and now I can't live without them. And they're always in our door bags. Really? So if you haven't tried them, go try them.
Really?
Are they like portable, like self-cleaning wipes?
Yeah, so when you're all dirty from rides, and they stay. Such a fun word. Moist the whole time.
Hold on, where's that button?
For the whole day. So I just you can, and they're big. So you just can wipe off and put it back in your door bag and you're good to go. And it'll be good to go again in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Clean Freak.
Yep.
Clean Freaks.
Awesome.
Oh, we'll have to check that out. I mean,
Shout out to Clean Freaks. Keep stuff clean.
I know. Especially when
dusty trails.
Well, when you're on the dusty or when you're boondocking and you don't have full hookups and you have to be conservative with your water. And so every day, I don't take a shower. Jonathan does. He uses most of the water.
I've got to have a shower.
I don't get, but I do. I like to have. I use like baby wipes or whatever. I'm like, as long as I smell fresh, I got my spritz and my deodorant. I don't care. But that's and I don't like. There's no point to me to wash my hair because then I'm gonna go out and get sandy and it's it's stupid anyway. But
I've got to wash off my bad decisions from the night before.
We've had plenty of those days too.
I wake up the next day feeling like trash, and I'm like, I need to be clean. It makes me feel at least 7% better.
I think Greg uses more of our water than the three of us girls.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to Liquid IVs. If you've never had one of those, Troy turned us on to those, and those things are so
they're lifesavers.
It makes you feel like a new person.
Yeah, I honestly at first I was like, I don't think that these are actually gonna work. But then those Gatorade rehydrates or whatever they are, they're basically like a pre-mixed liquid IV, and they taste really good. They're not that bad.
Please sponsor us when you guys.
No, for real.
We'll take some liquid IVs. We need them.
There's certain products that I'm like, I have to have those.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So moving forward, something that is pretty fun about Takeover is the racing. And I don't mean that you're going to be Travis Pastrana out there on the track, but there's some really fun things about Takeover. They provide at the one we're going to in Sand Hollow, it's going to have kind of a short course track on the sand, and then the next one they have is one that's kind of through the rocks and a little bit of sand.
Is that Rally
trailish?
Rally Fest.
Rally
Yes.
Fest.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so
And
crazy.
that
So
is
crazy.
wild. Like, I will not drive my machine
No.
on that.
It's almost like King of Hammers, right? Kind of
It
that
is.
concept where you're
Yes.
rallying through, just
Yeah.
just trying to beat the time.
I
Yeah.
feel like if you have a Turbo S, you may be okay because the control arms are a lot thicker and everything. But my poor RS1, I still got stock front control arms, and those things will just go bloop like
Michael
this.
was lined up to do that one last year, and
Yeah,
when
last
he seen
year-
the trail, he was like,
Yeah, I went through and I was like,
he backed out.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the whole victory lap, and I'm a rock crawler. I like rock crawling, and
But not when you're
He's
bombing
way better
through
than
it.
I am.
Right, when you're
Yeah.
Greg's
yeah.
actually a very good rock crawler, by the way.
Like some of those obstacles. That's just not even rock crawling. That's full on King Hammers racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, let me
You're
beat your
beating it.
machine up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. To
No.
sure.
No.
I don't want to scratch that paint.
that's what I
No.
decided last year. I was like, eh. And Colton tried to warn me. He's
Hey,
like,
did he?
He's like,
Yes,
don't
Colton
do it.
was like,
Don't do
don't go.
it. But, and I
But I'm not telling you not to race, guys.
No,
I'm
do
just
it.
like, it's fun to watch it.
I'll
like,
watch.
Yeah,
I
we'll totally
love
spectate.
watching it. I think it's awesome. I think it's so cool to watch these guys because they're just like, I
It's
can
awesome.
afford to replace these parts. And
yeah.
Well, is it Brandon? Brandon
Brandon Raddick.
Yeah, he
Raddick,
did
yeah.
it last year, and he did great.
Oh, he was right at the end, and he
and then he lost it.
Yeah, it just
Well, like,
car
I think
tumbled
something
right at the
broke.
finish line, and he didn't finish.
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it was rough. But I think BJ with Addiction.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he
Prob-
won
BJ
that event.
Leach,
Yeah, I think
probably.
he won it.
That dude can
And-
drive.
He's
and
gnarly.
He literally, I mean, that car held together. So props to him because I know what he went through to get
yeah,
to
we
it.
watched and we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so are you going to do it this year? No.
No.
Is Livy?
No.
Not really.
That'll be the one
for,
event that
we're up
she's-
for everything
yeah.
else
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
Rally Fest.
So you got that, the sand one, which I definitely love to race in. That's a lot of fun.
The short course?
The short course in the
Oh.
sand. Then you've got the barrel, which is the down in, what is it? The
Well, there's
figure
barrel
eight.
races and race the clock.
Yeah, race the clock. And then they've got the blind bandit. So lots of fun stuff.
Hillfest.
Yeah, and Hillfest, which is
So much fun.
or well, that's Oregon. They don't do
Oh,
that.
that's
don't
true.
do
They don't do
Yeah.
Hillfest and
And then
Takeover.
Huckfest, which is that's the one where
It's
everybody
awesome.
comes out. Willie Fest, where they
Mm-hmm.
do lots of willies. And I think the next thing we're going to do, and part of why we brought Greg and Amber here was because we wanted to talk to Greg and Amber's daughter, Liv, which she is such an awesome girl. She is kind of made up her mind that she wants to do a little racing.
Yep.
And she's kind of wanted to go in that direction. So let's
We're picking an expensive hobby, but we're ready for it.
And y'all gave her a choice, right? Did do both of the girls have a choice of like what sport they want to play or?
So early fall when school was going back, like all the sports are starting to form for the year. And I'm like, hey, what do you guys want to do for the year? And they both are like, we want to race.
Both of them, Ava too?
Ava's going to race the dirt bike.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was
well, we
on
got to
dirt
bring
bike,
Ava
so-
in. We got to bring Ava and Livia in on
so
this.
let's do this.
Ava's she's pretty cool on her dirt bike.
I love I see the videos and she jumps like she's fearless. I love it. Like
Yeah.
she's
So she doesn't have the interest in the razors like Livy does.
Oh.
But her thing is dirt bikes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where she's
like
got her groove.
in her own element.
Yeah.
She
that's
jumps
Ava.
them and everything. Like
I love it.
She's fun.
Well,
That's
let's
awesome.
bring them on. Let's. Do y'all want to swap out with both
Yeah,
of them, and we'll talk to both of them? Do you
Heck.
want to? Yeah, let's do that. And then,
They're gonna sneak out. They were hiding behind the machine the whole time.
because I think we're gonna ask them some questions because how cool is it to be young and to have rich parents? I'm just
I
joking.
don't know about that.
No, I'm just joking.
I think it's cool to be young and have motivational parents and to push them to do what they want to do.
I think
I think
it's
that's pretty
awesome.
rad.
It has been so fun for me and Greg to watch Olivia just kind of blossom with all this. Like,
Yeah.
she's a great driver, and we're like, okay, she has a knack for it. So now Greg is like, well, I guess I'm not going to race anymore.
We ordered her a next gen harness and everything, and the day it showed up to the house, it was like the reality hit. Like, oh,
He doesn't get to play.
This
now
is
it's-
happening.
Now it's not my turn anymore.
No, it means you got to buy them their own machine.
I've been
That's
looking.
the
We'll build a
process right
2-seater
now.
this winter.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
She will have a car by next year's starting
we'll
of
be-
Takeover.
As long as she
Love
does
it.
her
Yep.
chores.
Oh, she's doing great.
She is
she's
a
a straight A student.
student.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
she
straight
does
A
really
student,
good, so.
and she's just killing it in life. So So
I love that. That's awesome.
We're going to bring Greg and Amber back at the end of this, but we're just going to talk to them for a few minutes and just kind of, we want to see what their thoughts are on all this. Okay, guys. So this is Greg and Amber's daughters. Tell us your names.
I'm Olivia. And
I'm Ava.
And how old are you?
I'm 13.
And I'm 10.
10. Do y'all fight each other a lot at home?
It depends.
It depends on the mood.
What's the biggest fighting trigger?
It's probably like just bickering about some stupid things.
Do you steal each other's clothes?
No,
She
not
can't fit
yet.
in mine yet.
I'm close.
Not yet. Not yet. She said not yet.
You get the hand-me-downs, right?
Yep.
Poor Ava. I was a big sister too, so I never got hand-me-downs.
Nope.
So the reason I wanted to bring them on, guys, is because I am a big I'm a big person of motivating our youth to do things to keep them out of trouble, to keep them in a good direction in their life. When I was young, I started off riding dirt bikes that my friends had, go-karts and four-wheelers and everything in between that. And I think it's just so awesome that Greg and Amber's daughters also did the same thing, and they have kind of evolved into this. So I wanted to talk to Liv, and then I also wanted to talk to Ava. And is that how you say it? Ava? Mm-hmm. Like
AVA.
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 That's an awesome name.
I know.
That's an awesome. Both y'all have awesome names. But then we didn't realize that also Ava was going to be maybe doing some dirt bike stuff as well, which is just so awesome. When we were at the pit bike thing with Whiskey Throttle, they were both out there ripping. Both of y'all were out there, weren't you, ripping?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just so cool to me. So why, we'll start with Liv. What made your parents basically asked you what?
Well, they first started like just letting me drive around camp, and I loved it. I always asked, I was like, can I please go drive? Can I please go drive? And they always were like, no, like, we want to go drive. And finally, it just came to a point where I would just go hop in and
Steal the seat.
it wouldn't matter. Like, and then they would get my attention if they wanted me back. But ever since like just I don't know, when I started driving, I was like 6. Mm-hmm. Ever since that day, like you can't get out of the driver's seat. Like it just has been hard for me to not be driving on trails with them. Like I've always asked for a razor, like my own razor, even if it was a tiny razor. Like I didn't care. I just wanted a razor that I could follow them around with. And that's what started like the whole like racing and driving and all of that.
Let me ask you this, well, both of you guys, when y'all watch people like Savage Sage, do you remember who Savage Sage is? A little RS1 with the little spike on it. Or, you know, Ruslan. When you watch the younger crowd and you watch them doing these cool things, is that motivation to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's motivation, I would say, and it's also like a competitiveness in yourself. Like you want to get out there and you want to race them and you want to win, and it's just a lot of adrenaline too.
Yeah, because that's, to me, like, I think that what the two of you can be for other kids, and I'm not calling you kids in a mean way. I wish I was a kid still, so trust me, and didn't have to pay bills. But like, I think that it is so awesome that you can go out there and you can show other kids that that's an awesome hobby, and you can motivate them to want to do the same thing. Like you said, you have a competitive spirit, so you want to go out there and compete against other people, especially your age. And not only does Takeover need that, but just also like just the side-by-side world. Yeah. So what do you think, though? What do you want to do? Side-by-side stuff? Dirt bike stuff? Ava, what's the deal?
I'm more of a dirt biker. It's one of my favorite things to kind of do, like jumping. It's just like a trigger for me.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Liv, you said you got in the driver's seat at 6. How long have you been riding dirt bikes?
Since I was 7.
Since you were 7. And you're 10 now? So 3 years. And then, so did you start off on dirt bikes too, or did you straight jump into side-by-side?
So I first started riding on my dad's lap in the side by side.
Did you? You were the steering control,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And then that was at 6 years old. Do you ride dirt bikes too?
Yes.
Don't you? How old are you when you started riding dirt bikes?
Probably like 10.
So you guys started riding dirt bikes around the same
Yeah.
same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then you started on trails? Have you ridden in the sand at all on dirt bikes, or where do you ride?
My first time ever riding a dirt bike, we went to the sand and I crashed, and I've never wanted to get back in the sand. It's been rough for me, and that was at like a younger age, I guess, and so it's just been like, I don't know about that one. And then Ava, she first rode the 4-wheeler in the sand, and so we traded, and she actually did better on the dirt bike, and I did better on the 4-wheeler.
Oh, really? So that was your niche, huh?
When we first got the dirt bike and 4-wheeler, I was terrified of the dirt bike.
Really? Mm-hmm. What do you think clicked that you were like, okay, I like the dirt bike. This is what I want to do?
I think it was because I'm really comfortable on bikes.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a bike for me, and it just feels like I'm jumping it.
Yeah.
Like I'm jumping on a bike.
Just getting comfortable with like the balance and the concept of balancing it. But then you also have a clutch and you have a throttle and you have a brake, and there's like a lot that kind of goes into it. It's not, it's not just like a bicycle where you're pedaling, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit more.
That is way different, I will say. Going from like just a pedal bike in general to a 90 is what I started on. That was totally different. Like you actually have like motor speed that is controlling you, and
Right.
like,
Yeah, it's different for sure.
weird.
Yeah,
A lot of people think like it's not as different, and I can see their like concept and like how they are thinking about it, but the driving is very different from a bike, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Driving a side-by-side from a bike, or driving a motorcycle from
driving
a dirt bike
anything.
from a
Yeah.
bicycle. Yeah.
So I raced bikes like semi-professionally for about 5.5 years. It was street bikes though, and I'll tell you this: I was in a bad accident, so that's why I don't ride bikes much anymore. But I wish I could still. I wish my back could handle it, and I think that's just so cool. And the reason I tell you all that, I practiced on bikes. I don't know. I've been riding forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and you just got to keep practicing over and over and over and over and over. I there was a point where when I no longer raced bikes, I actually instructed people and taught them how to get their race license and stuff. And it was always so fun to watch these people when they first came in, and then when we got done and they learned and all this awesome stuff. And it's just the moral of the story and why I'm telling you all this is don't stop practicing. Whether it's going to be in the side-by-side world or on a dirt bike or any of that, or street bikes or anything, don't stop practicing. The only way you're ever going to get better is if you keep practicing. So that's like the biggest thing I can tell you. And I think it's pretty rad because Liv is going to be racing in a lot of this stuff. Maybe
what all do you plan on racing at Takeover?
I'm a little iffy about Huckfest right now.
Are you?
But everything about, except for the one you guys were talking about, I can't remember the name, the like rock one.
The Rally Fest.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
So you're going to do short course?
Yes.
And then barrel races and race the clock? What about Blind Bandit?
Blind Bandit, I don't know about that one either because of, Ava's not a very good guider.
Aw, she's putting you on the spot. You should drive. You should drive. Is that what should happen?
And then my cousin wants to do it, and he was my guider last year. So
Blind Bandits.
She wouldn't listen to.
Well, the thing is Blind Bandit, like you're as the passenger, because the driver is blindfolded, the passenger cannot stop talking. You have to continuously coach your driver through every single movement and continue talking, because even if there's a split second of silence, you're like, it's weird to be blindfolded and you're trusting this person to not run into a barrel and you want to win, right? Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
even for slow, it's crazy.
My cousin and her were just giggling the whole time. I was like, can you guide me?
Ava.
Anytime my cousin would say right, she would go left, and whenever he would say left, she would go right.
So I'll tell you a trick for that may help you out, because sometimes it's easy to get confused in the moment. Say passenger and driver, And if you say driver, you know that you need to turn towards this way.
Yes.
If you say passenger, it's kind of like when you get let up rocks and stuff like that.
Right.
They'll say passenger or driver. It means turn your tire towards that direction. So just maybe even try that trick. And
you should try it again.
And blind bandit's more of just a fun thing. I mean, there is an award for it. They still is a trophy. So
First and second place.
In Oregon, we all had to wear helmets because we're under 18. So I had to put it was completely dark.
my
I had no sun. It was,
yeah, that's intimidating.
yeah. So I had to put it over my helmet.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad.
So I do want to get to something else. So Liv actually did race in Oregon. We have a footage of it. And you did a little tippy tip.
I did.
And I'm not going to lie, there was points in time where I thought I was going to tip too when I was racing in it because it gets so rutted out. And that's something you have to always be conscious of is those ruts.
And especially racing for the first time in a 4-seater, it's very different from like what I'm imagining a 2-seater would be. Like having like a different, I guess, like length in it. I think it would be a lot different.
Yeah, and it's an advantage and a disadvantage on short, tight things like that. Sometimes a 4-seater is a little bit of a disadvantage, but I guess it's also a perspective. I'm sure somebody may have a different point of view on it, but
I don't know on was it
the longer
Race the
short?
Clock?
No,
No, it was barrels.
Or the barrels?
Barrel
You
race.
kicked butt. Well, which was the one that you tipped over on?
barrels.
Oh, it was. But you did the another one. Was that Race the Clock?
I did Race the Clock, barrels, and blind band.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
And
are the
she
only
kicked
3.
butt and Race the Clock, though. You did a great job. I was so proud of you. You did an awesome job.
and don't be discouraged with the 4-seater because remember the short course race with Wyatt, and I don't remember who it was at the end. I think it was Lockdown Performance. That was a 4-seater.
Yeah, if
That
he
was
wouldn't
doing
blown the belt, he would have won.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
that
I
just-
think he would have won.
Oh,
by it.
yeah. So that just goes to show you that not everything is, you're not always going to have a complete disadvantage with a 4-seater because look how far he went.
Yeah.
But you got a 2-seater coming one day. And you've got maybe a CR500 coming one day. You don't even know what that is, do you?
When she gets her 2-seater, I'm gonna actually get her dirt bike.
Nice.
And what kind of dirt bike is it?
It's just one of those like off-brand, like I guess like pitsters.
Is it like a 50cc, 250, or
It's a
So 120.
it's a 125.
125?
Yeah. So does it have a clutch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you learned how to ride a bike without a clutch or with a clutch yet?
Yeah, the 90 that we both started on has a clutch.
Good. And I tell you, you're setting yourself up for fun for the rest of your life, knowing how to drive a clutch, like anything with a clutch. Cause
Yeah.
it's kind of a dying thing, even in cars now. There's no clutches anymore.
That's
but,
a valid point.
by the time y'all get your licenses, there might not even be cars at all. It might be spaceships.
I
don't
know.
know what's happening right now.
That's what I believe will happen.
Probably. We're all just going to be floating in the air.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask Ava. So are you going to do any races at Takeover too? Are you going to try jumping are you going to do the motocross Huckfest, or what are you thinking? Just to try it? What do you maybe?
It depends. Like, I need to see what it kind of is before I know what to do and
Right.
So,
how to do it.
Sketchy Greg, who's a good friend of ours, did y'all get a chance to meet Sketchy Greg?
We have not met him. I've watched a ton of his videos.
Okay, so just so happens he's one of my good buddies, and I am going
He's a
to
good guy.
introduce Ava to him. I'll introduce everybody to him, obviously, but I'm going to get him, who he is a champion, a Huckfest champion for dirt bikes, and I'm going to get him to teach you some cool pointers.
Yeah.
Would you like that? Yeah, no.
Troy. Is that how you say his name? It's weird.
Whose name?
Troy.
Troy?
I think that's his name. I can't ever remember.
Fire
names.
Troy?
No.
No?
Katie
Trent.
Oh, yeah, Trent.
Katie's boyfriend?
Oh, Trent. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Trent. He said that I could ride his bike.
Oh, did he?
He has a very, 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 very powerful bike. I don't know. We need to
He
put
said
you
that he would want me.
He would let you? What did he?
I feel like maybe we should.
She's ready. Look at her. She's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm ready to go.
It's kind of tall.
I know. You might have to grow.
He
it
does
out.
actually have a smaller bike as
Does
well,
he?
though. So yeah,
Yeah.
he does have a smaller pitster. That's a really nice one that I'm sure that he would let you ride.
He was gonna let me ride a purple bike.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's the one that he's letting me ride.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's okay. So I know what that'll be a good bike for your size, and you should do it. Like you should, do what you feel comfortable with. The only way you can ever get better is getting outside of your comfort zone. But don't ever push yourself too far outside of your comfort zone that it's dangerous. Everything fun is going to be a little bit dangerous sometimes, but you've also got to always keep safety in mind. Safety is the most important part of anything that y'all do. So just keep that in mind when you're racing, anything. You never try to overdo yourself to the point where you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Plus your parents, I'm sure their wallets would appreciate if you don't destroy their stuff that they work hard for.
Do it scared. Feel comfortable, be confident, build your confidence. And even if you fall and you mess up, get back on, do it scared, try again, and don't give up. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's how it was when I tipped in Oregon. My dad was like, drive it back to camp. Like, you're not getting out. And I was like, okay.
But you didn't want to race anything after that.
Well, I wanted to. I wanted to do short course, but then my dad was like, no. I'm doing that one."
He cut you off. I'm like, I thought she cut herself up.
I wanted to race.
Greg wanted to race. Oh, that's what happened.
But no, and I've had to cut her off too before when she tipped, so don't feel bad.
I wanted to, but he got mad at me because I tipped it at St. Anthony. I didn't have enough power. I slowed down. I was falling too close, didn't have enough power, started sidewalling up against a dune, literally tipped it over straight up and down on a dune. And I was like, let me drive back. And he was like, no. And I got really mad at him for not letting me drive.
To be clear, I was concerned.
He was concerned. No, absolutely. And you were probably in the right for that one, but I was like,
because it shakes you up a little bit when you roll over. I've tipped over before, and I was like, whoa, like that just came out of nowhere. Where did that come from?
It's a rude awakening, and then you're like, oh crap, like
yeah,
I can get hurt doing this. Like it is dangerous. There are risks, but
I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to hear from our youth out there, and I've watched them grow up probably more than they've watched me get old. I've just seen them grow up and become taller and older and more mature, and I'm so happy for you guys and what y'all are trying to do. I think it's just awesome, and I'm going to be there cheering you on. Both Krista and I are going to be there cheering you on. We're going to have cameras on the cars of them, and you're going to see like literal youth just out there chasing their dreams the same way that some of us did when we were younger.
Yes.
Whether y'all were in Glamis growing up on quads or three-wheelers, you were out in the woods like where I grew up in Georgia, just growing up riding through trails in the woods. I think it's just awesome. And parents, be supportive of your children. And I understand you all can't financially be supportive of your children. It's an expensive hobby.
it is very expensive.
Be supportive of your children and their dreams. And I'm sure that when Greg and Amber get back and jump back here for a few minutes to say goodbye, we're going to kind of ask them about that as well. But just support your dreams. So Ava and Liv, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank
for
you guys.
coming to talk to us.
Just to throw it out there. What's the drive? What's the drive time? How long did it take y'all to get here? An hour and a half?
Well, we were in a little bit of rush hour, so it was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, they made a major trek to come up here and hang out with us and be on the Offroad Diaries podcast. So we appreciate you girls, we appreciate you wanting to be here and making the time to come up here. I know you guys are busy and you got school, and that's why we didn't want to go too late. So we know you guys got to get ready for school and stuff tomorrow. So we appreciate you being here, and we're super excited to see what all you do and cheer you guys from the sidelines. We're going to be right there.
Let's give them a round of applause while we switch over.
Well, thank you for having us.
No, we appreciate you girls. Y'all are awesome.
I think leading out of this podcast, I kind of just want to ask you guys, after we've talked to your daughters, is what made you say yes to them?
I think it just, with any extracurricular activity, right? If you're volleyball, soccer, football, cheerleading, whatever it is, everybody as parents, we do everything we can. This is just kind of out of the ordinary.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited for Takeover. I think the most important thing out of this entire podcast that we learned here is that supporting your children is probably one of the best things you can ever do. I think where we're trying to go with this, support your kids, support their dreams, their hobbies becoming your hobbies, or your hobbies
are
like
now
passing
becoming
down a
theirs.
Or they're now
generational.
becoming theirs, which
Yeah.
y'all never tried to force on them.
No.
They just happen to fall in love with what y'all do as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool. So you're going to see a lot more of Greg and Amber at Takeover with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm sure Greg's going to do some cool drone stuff for us also. And
You are killer on the
Absolutely.
drone,
Yeah,
dude.
he's
I gotta
very
say,
good.
I was watching back. I was
so
like, this is
smooth.
awesome. Yeah.
Greg's
You
had to learn it. It didn't come easy.
It'll be nice though because I don't get a lot of drone footage because if I'm driving.
Right.
And now
Oh, now
at
you'll have a
Takeover,
seat. You'll
I'm not
have-
going to have a seat.
There you
So we'll get some good drone footage at Takeover and everything.
You can ride on my lap in my RS1. I've only got a one-seater.
Perfect.
Greg and Amber, thank you guys for being our
thank
friends.
you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming to talk to us and bringing your children. Thank you for making the drive.
Absolutely. Anytime.
By the way, if you're watching this, our RV park's name is Aspen Grove RV Park. We were right on the way from Oregon, Washington, Idaho, all that good stuff. If you mention that you saw this podcast, I'll give you 20% off your stay for the night. Aspen Grove RV Park is amazing, beautiful.
It is.
We'll drop a
It
link in the
is
description.
Stunning.
Oh, thank you.
And
Tremont in Utah.
Tremont in Utah. So, yeah. So, other than that, we could probably talk for like 10 hours because we're all
Absolutely.
talking.
See, I told you, you get lost into it, right? You don't
Yeah.
even notice
Yeah.
how
It's
been
fast
an
the
hour
time goes.
already.
I know.
You just get lost talking.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
like, and I don't know if you guys even like this or not. 'cause
Yeah, you'll have to
we're-
let us know in the comments. I mean, we're trying to do something different, add some more variety into not just having, videos. And we ride the dunes a lot, obviously. Sometimes, we do a lot of dune riding, but we're trying to add some mix and flair into it and bring our friends in and
Yeah.
have good conversation.
We'll be hanging out with them at Takeover and
Yes.
everybody else. You'll get a chance. We're going to have a in-car camera with Liv so we can
Yes.
get some cool footage and y'all can see and follow up from this.
We'll drop some links for her, all of her social media links in the bottom in the
Yeah.
description. So
She's
that way
super
you can go give
excited
her a
and
follow.
she wants to go with this. So
Yeah.
we're
Love it.
gonna
Do what
do
we
it.
can to support her.
Have an awesome day, guys. Love y'all a ton. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys at Takeover. Goodbye.
See you there.
Bye.
Bye.